What's going on, everybody? Slang Dutchman here, and today we're back from the UK. I missed a video as well, got a little bit sick, but today we're back, and I promised you guys to show you guys the shop, and I had a few updates, so let's go. So after not filming for a while, working through some old content, I now think I have the shop a little bit up to date to show you guys what's new and what's going on. So I think the last time you saw the kitchen area, I didn't have, or well, maybe I had a fridge, but it was a different one. I have now a fridge with a freezer. So, nice warm weather with ice cream, stuff for the deep fryer. We've got a microwave now for the simple stuff. Got some little cabinets that's now full of the food and other snacks. And the reason because is that this big thing here behind me is basically a little loft area that we made for storage. So I got a lot of tires up there, wheels, bonnets, doors, bumpers, just you name it. There's all sorts of stuff on there. So now the whole shop by itself is a little bit more spacious. But because we did that, we had this little, just walking. We had this little corner here where we had the couches, and we decided, let's make it more nice, more cozy. So we put up the Hot Wheels on the wall, which is now the Hot Wheel wall. It's a little bit of a weird nerd hobby that got out of hand, and I just kind of like the aesthetics now, so I tried to pick out some cool models that I can use to fill up this wall. But I think if this wall is full, I might need to stop with this shit. Other than that, we got a heater. Now it's summertime. I've been using it for a little while now, also in the cold days. But now in the summertime we don't use it as much. But for when it's summer, or for when it's winter and it is cold, or you need to have it nice and toasty warm here because you're doing some paint projects or whatever, I got this thing. Bought it secondhand. Got some piping, installed it all, plumbed it, and it's so good. And so now when it's on, it just builds up a lot of heat that just comes in here and stays in here. So this area gets nice and toasty and warm, and then the shop by itself also gets heated, but not as much as this area. But this is the sitting chilling area. Then I think I've showed that I had a tire machine, but to make the video sort of complete, I've now got a tire machine. If you do drifting, if you're into cars and you switch tires a lot, then it's very handy to have your own tire machine, because that stuff is just so pricey to do at a garage. Well, it's literally like, what, 10 minutes work. So yeah, but I showed that already, but I think this is adding up to the complete picture of the workshop. This is a bike of my friend. We're trying to get it running again, but for me it's not really a priority, and he's just working on it every now and then. But when we get it running, it will probably be on the channel. Then, if we turn the camera a little bit, we have one of the best things, and I'm not talking about this shitbox Civic, but I'm talking about the hoist. It was a little bit to save up, but it's just such a convenience to have that. As you can see, the Civic now is on jack stands, because I'm working on the jack points that are underneath, and the arms of the hoist were just, or the lift, whatever you want to call it. The arms are right in the spot that I needed to do some repairs. So it's now standing like this. Also, the Civic has been looking better, but it needs to get worse before it gets better. This thing will be on the channel soon with some updates and fresh MOT and everything running, driving. Got myself a tool cart, also secondhand off the internet. It was just way easier because I had everything nice and organized there and on the wall. But then if you need stuff, or you're like working here underneath the car, you can just pull this thing along behind you, and you have basically everything you need, and everything is in a nice order. Now this one is one that I bought because I had all these screwdrivers, but a lot of them are different sizes, different color is different, and my OCD couldn't handle that. So this was the cheapest option. But the other ones are just filled with all the normal sockets and stuff. So yeah, that. Get my nice trusty welder. This has done a lot of jobs in previous videos. Then we have, if you come here, we purchased a engine crane that we can now use to lift engines or other heavy stuff. When the car lift came in, we didn't have a way to take it out of the package because it was sort of like bolted up to a frame structure, and we needed to like lift it off, but it's obviously way too heavy to just lift. So luckily we had that thing just, well, an hour, and we were like, let's unpack that thing, and we were able to use it for that. This thing was very cheap deal, and it was like 10 kilometers away. A buddy of mine was like, hey man, this is a good deal, and I was like, yep, it is, and I just picked it up straight away, which comes in handy for if you've seen the previous video with the E36 sedan that we have that has no engine. There's an engine sitting there in the corner that's gonna go in, so we need an engine crane. Also, my BMW is gonna get swapped hopefully this year, but no promises. Just so much stuff going on, so much stuff to work on. I have this thing sitting here collecting dust. Luckily, I'm happy I never got rid of it, but this whole different story. Long-term project, no rush. When all the other projects and the Civic is done and more of a daily, when the E36 is driving again, the sedan that is, the coupe is driving. When everything that is done, this is the main project to focus on. But I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars that need work at the moment. So yes, that's always how it goes. Evo. So one last update is the ceiling fan that we have. Now when we're heating it up here, all the heat goes to the top, which is not convenient because I'm quite tall, but not that tall. So you push the air down, and then if you stand here, you can actually feel like warm air coming down. Also, when it's a very hot day, there's a nice little breeze going through the shop. If you're working with some stuff, if you're removing rust or anything with grinding and there's a lot of dust going on, that thing just pushes it down and just out of the way, which is already very helpful, because if you're just grinding stuff and just if the doors are closed, the whole air here in the shop is basically at a standstill, so everything just floats along, and this thing really helps with just, you know, it gets on the ground and it gets in every nook and cranny. That's a given in a workshop. Also, one thing that we did is the compressor is standing in here, and it was a very loud thing. So I made this little box, some air holes for the warm air to escape, and there's a little mat on the inside to sort of block out the sound. So now it's like acceptable to be around here if you use air tools or whatever, and that thing is constantly going. Or I need to change wheels, that's also on air. Normally it would just, you know, you need to put your earmuffs on because it was just too loud, but now it's, well, perfect. Quick little update on the Civic. Wheel arches, very rotten. There's new wheel arches in here. Also on the other side. It's not done. And the jacking points on all 4 corners were basically just so we replaced those. I'm working on the last and final corner at the front. After that, the car is gonna get sanded, gonna get some primer, so it's all one base color, and gonna get some wrap. But we're not there yet. So now we can finish up the Civic. When the Civic is done, I'm gonna get working on the E36 to get that running and driving. I'm collecting all the parts. I'm basically at like 80–90% of the way of the parts. So I can basically slap that thing together in one big video, because that's also a thing with making videos. Collecting parts, saving up some money for parts. And then if you do a video, it's like a very long time period to capture that whole thing. So with this car, I'm trying to get it somewhat complete and then try to build it as one big video, or a short series. So let me know if you want to see projects combined into one big video. It might take a little bit longer before those videos then can come out. Or would you like to see a little bit more like steady progress of a little bit in one video, a little bit on the E36, a little bit Civic, just a little scramble of update things like on a weekly basis? Let me know down in the comments. So it's basically an update video, and I don't want to seem like I'm showing off, like, look what I have. The view I have on it and what I want to give to you as a viewer. If you have a dream or something that you really want to do, just put your mind to it, put your focus on it, and just go. Sometimes you get a little bit unlucky, or you get a lot of luck. Some people are very lucky, some people are a little bit more unlucky. But 2 years ago, the BMW, as you guys know it, the orange one, I built that thing on the street, just on the ground, with jack stands, nothing else. I didn't have a shop. I would dream of a shop. And this opportunity came by and I jumped on it. And from there, I'm able to get all the stuff now, because I didn't have a room for, or a car lift, or no reason to have like a tool cart that you need to, get through the door, and just it's all not convenient to have if you don't have a shop. So that was basically the main goal, to have a shop. And then within 2 years, I'm not even sitting in this shop for 2 years. I have a fully, in my opinion, fully decked out shop. I have so many spare tires that I picked off of a free Facebook Marketplace post. Somebody said my ex-husband had these tires. He wanted to ship them to a different country, but they split up, and she was like, my backyard is full of tires, please get rid of them. So I just I did 2 trips with a Volvo and a car, a trailer behind it, fully loaded with tires. I have tires enough, plenty. Like I said, the lift, the tools, I have like a fully decked out shop, and I was able to create that within like 2 years. And I had some luck. Also my dad had a lot of tools that he had and not using anymore, and he was like, this is a better place basically to store it, because if I now need to use them, this is the best place to use them, because we have a hoist to use. I got a little bit lucky there with some tools, but also I bought a lot of stuff for myself, like the welder I got for my dad, which is such a great tool to have. But other than that, I just want to motivate any of you guys that if you want to have something to create, because now that's also the best thing. I started this and I was like, well, is any of my buddies here want to split this shop space with me and split the price, the rent? And none of them were really interested at first, but I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it anyway, because this is what I really want and I can't afford it, so I'm just gonna do it by myself. And now all those same friends just come over, hang out, chill, we work on cars, so it brings like a social thing to it. So I don't know, I love it. So if you want to keep updated with the progress, with the cars, with the shop, with anything, just subscribe. It's free and you're coming back anyway, so why not? Like the video if you liked it. It really helps me out with the algorithms. Let me know down in the comments, what do you want to achieve? What is your goal to work for? And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.